Okay, hi guys. How do you get your artboards from Illustrator now to Google Classroom? Okay, so what we need to do is we need to take, right, we've got Adobe, we've got Google, and they aren't connected. So then we use our computer as a way to download and then upload to Google. So we have to download from Adobe, save it on our desktop, and then we need to upload it to back to Google, okay, so that Mrs. Fitz can get you a grade, A pluses, of course, and then also print or do whatever I need to do depending on what the product is, the digital product is. So without further ado, you will need to be at, if save is grayed out, that means the latest version is saved. Okay, so you're all set. You don't need to do that. But you will be using save as, okay, and you will be using export. We're going to do a little bit of overkill in the beginning with how we save your files and what we're going to be submitting to Google Classroom. But I found that if we do it this way, when we get into bigger, longer projects, you just know how to submit your files, multiple files, and then we're all set. Okay, so the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to Save As. Okay, you're going to make sure that this is called your name, whatever the file name, your first and last name. And then it's already saved to Creative Cloud, but now we're going to save to your computer. So you're going to navigate to that folder we created on your desktop. Okay, so we're going to go to Pictures, and you're going to remember, if that's a little bit, you can always go to Medium Icons. And for this, I have a folder called Mrs. Fitz's Demo folder. Your folder will probably say your first, last name, what year you are in school, so whatever that is, and then whatever period you have. I'm just going to use Mrs. Fitz's Demo. Okay, here's the name. And .ai is an Adobe Illustrator file. Only Adobe Illustrator can open that file. Okay, so we definitely want right now a .ai. We're going to hit OK and save. All right, and it'll pop this up and we'll just say, okay, save it. So when I go back to that folder, I will show you what it looks like. Mrs. Fitz's, you can see now it's not empty. And it says this, Mrs. Fitz, I want to see what that file is. Go to large icon. How come it has? Because your computer cannot read an AI file. You are no longer in Adobe Illustrator. You took your file from the cute little Creative Cloud, and now it's on your desktop. Okay? So that's the AI file. That's a very special file. That's the one you can keep on editing and editing and editing. So that's beautiful. Now, I need now, how do you export? Now you're going to go to export, and you're going to export as, so that I can see it quickly in Google Classroom. Okay. We're going to go to export as. Okay. And you will always click on use artboards. And for this, I am going to tell you, instead of a JPEG, we are going to use a PNG, which has that transparent background. We talked about the difference of files, and it's a bigger, larger file. That's what I want right now. Now, we have 3 artboards. Right now, it's going to say use the artboards. That means if there's anything floating off the artboard, it doesn't matter. And we have to decide now, do we need all of them? Does Mrs. Fitz really need all of your artboards, or do you want to do a range and just give me yellow and red rectangles? Okay, I'm going to click on all. I'm going to send all to them to Mrs. Fitz because she needs to see them all, but you do have that choice. Use artboards all PNG, and you're going to hit export. Now, the resolution will be 300, but we do not want the background color to be white. I want the background to be that checkerboard, which means it's clear, it's transparent. There's the checkerboard. Now I can put it on whatever I want and not have to deal with the silly white background. Your default might be transparent. Woo, aren't you special? Mine was not. Mine was on white, and you could also put it black. We want transparent. That checkerboard means nothing's there. We're going to hit OK. All right, so let's go back to my pictures file. I'm going to go to Mrs. Fitz's demo folder, and look what happened. I have a separate digital file for each one of these. Okay? Now, let me show you what happens if I don't click that box. File, export, export as. Okay? If I don't say use artboards, okay, and I hit export, 300, you can already see what's going to happen, and hit export. They put them all on one file. Okay? It's not a horrible thing. It's just most likely we aren't going to do that. We are going to do all of this. Now, you'll do both because I want you to know this. But I will have this, this, and this. Okay? And so when I'm in Google Classroom, I can see all this stuff now. So that's how I export my files. Now we're still on my computer. So now we have to go to Google Classroom and we need to upload them. All right? And then if I need to print, I will open this file. Mrs. Fitz, if you open up that file, do you see all the artboards? You do. It's just like that. It opens it just like you saw it on your screen. That's a great question. Good job. All right. So last but not least, we need to get to Google Classroom. So we will navigate to Classroom. I don't believe I have one open. Let's go here. Let's go to where I am a student. I'm enrolled in this advisory. Remember, you will see your classroom. I can't use your classroom because I'm the facilitator, but let's go to classwork and let's pretend that this is the assignment that I am submitting my work to. I need to add or create. Everything we are creating is a digital file. It is an actual product. Okay, it's not just floating. So we're going to go to File. We're going to go to Browse. We're going to go to Pictures. You're going to navigate to your folder. Okay, once again, make sure you go to your View. It might say View, but it's here. I want to see large icons. Okay, and if I want to select all, I can hold down left click and select all of them. It's called rubber band selecting. Or I can hold down Shift and select all of them. And I can hold down Control to unselect one. So if I don't need this one or this one, I can hold down Control. So I can hold down Shift, Shift, and Shift. But now how do I get rid of these? Control. Okay, but I want all of them. Rubber band selecting is the bee's knees. All right, we're going to hit Open. Okay, and then you will click Turn In. And that is how you get your files from Adobe Illustrator to Classroom.